Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen. For today's video, I am going to be sharing my March TBR. So for the month of March, I honestly have no idea what I want to read. I kind of just randomly picked up a few books that I have been thinking about lately that just seem like there's a good chance I'll read them soon. We'll just see how the month goes, but these are the books that I've been thinking about reading. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So my first book that's on my March TBR is A Court of Silver Flames. This is the 5th book in the ACOTAR series. I started this series back in January. So I read the first 3 books back to back. I took a break. I haven't read the 4th one yet, but I'm going to read it in February. So by the time this video is up, I'll have already read that one. So this is the next one that I'll have in the series. I'm excited to get to it. I've heard mixed things about this book, honestly. I've heard it's really good, but then I've seen other people not really like it, so I'm not really sure how I'll feel about it. I'm hoping I like it. I have enjoyed the series so far, so I have kind of high hopes for this one. The next book that I want to read is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. I've heard really good things about this book, and I recently got it, and I just feel like I'm really gonna love this one. I have a really good feeling about this book. It just seems like a story that I'm gonna absolutely fall in love with, so I'm excited for it. This author has a novella called Again, and I read that one last year. I'm pretty sure I read it last March actually. So I've been wanting to read this one, so I'm planning to hopefully read it soon because I have been thinking about it lately. Like, I've almost picked it up a few times, but then I decided to read other books instead, but this one is one that I really want to get to soon. So this book, I don't know too much about it. I don't want to know too much about it. I just know that the main character, her husband passes away, and it's a romance between her and the husband's best friend. So it seems like an interesting concept. It also seems like it's going to be a very heartbreaking book, but I've heard it's amazing, so I'm excited for it. The next book that's on my TBR is In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. This is another book that I just feel like everyone loves. Like, I've only seen positive reviews for it. I feel like I'm really gonna love this one too. I know it's a marriage of convenience, and they knew each other in high school, and he had a crush on her, and so now she comes back to like the town that they're from, and I guess her step grandmother left her a tulip farm, but there's certain conditions for her to be able to actually, like, I guess, own the farm. And so one of them is that she has to move back, and then the other one is that she has to be married. So she ends up marrying this guy that she knew from high school, and I believe he's a single dad. That's kind of it, I guess. That's all I know about it. This book just seems like it's gonna be so cute. Like, I feel like I'm gonna love it. I'm so excited for it. So my next book is one that I would really love to get to in March, but I don't know if I will because I just don't have high hopes of me actually getting to this book because I keep saying I want to read it, but it's Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is another one that I just hear amazing things about, and I feel like everyone who reads it loves it. So I've been wanting to read it. I've owned this book for so long, and I know it's like an ongoing series, and so I guess like the 3rd one just got released in February, and I think the 4th one is being released in March. So everyone's like talking about this series right now. It's like getting all hyped up because of the new books. I would love to be a part of that hype and be able to read this series and like know all about it. So I'm gonna try to read it in March. We'll see. Hopefully I can get to it. I've just been intimidated by how long it is, so I haven't been wanting to pick it up, but I don't know too much about this one actually. I just know that the guy plays rugby, I'm pretty sure. I think she's like the new girl at school, and they meet and fall in love, and I don't know anything else about it other than that, but I've heard it's really sad. But again, I've also heard it's really amazing, so I feel like I'm gonna love this one once I get to it. I'm going to read it eventually. I know that once I read this book, I'm gonna regret not reading it sooner because I'm sure I'm gonna love it. But yeah, this one is another one that I would like to get to soon, especially because everyone's talking about it again since the new books just came out. So my next book is another one that I keep talking about, keep bringing up, and I never read it, but it's Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've been wanting to pick up this book as well. I keep saying that about all these books, but this one I've really been wanting to get to it, especially because her newest book comes out, I think in April, possibly. I know it comes out this spring at some point. I would love to read this one before the new book comes out. I love Abby Jimenez. I love her books. Don't know why I haven't read this one yet. I have brought it up many times before, and I'd really love to finally read this book. And again, I think this is going to be another book where once I read it, I'm going to regret not reading it sooner. This one's kind of like an opposites attract story. He is from this small town, and she's a doctor. She lives in the city. They're just very opposite of each other. I think she's also like 10 years older than him. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully I can read it and stop saying I'm going to read it and just finally read it. And so the next book is another rom-com, and it's Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. In February, I finally read The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, and I loved it, and I also loved Better Than the Movies by her. So I've been wanting to read her other books. I've only read her YA books, so I've been wanting to get into her adult rom-coms, and this one's one of them. I've owned this book for like over a year now, so I'd really love to read it soon, just because like I said, I've loved her other books, so I have high hopes for this one. And then there's another book that comes after this one, I'm pretty sure. It's called The Love Wager, and I'm pretty sure that one comes out in March. Hopefully I can read this one before that book comes out, and if I like this one, I'll read The Love Wager. The Love Wager is one that I've been wanting to read. It sounds like a really cute concept. I talked about it in one of my videos earlier this year. It was in my video of my anticipated releases for this year. Again, I would love to get to this one, so hopefully I'll finally read it because I've owned this book for way too long. So next on my TBR isn't a specific book, but it's an author, and that's Megan Quinn. She has like different series, so I don't know, if I feel like I just have to like pick one of those to start with. I know she has like a baseball series, and then she has a hockey romance series. I'd also really love to read A Not So Meet Cute. This one has been on my TBR for so long, and I've almost read it so many times. Like, I've downloaded it on Kindle Unlimited before, and I've almost started it, and I just never do. So maybe this will finally be the month that I read it, especially because the third book in the series just came out in January. I think it's called A Long Time Coming, and that one, I just know I'm gonna love that book. Hopefully. I feel like I'm gonna love it. It's like everything I could ever want in a book. It's best friends to lovers, and the female main character is getting married, and then the male main character is her best friend, and he's realizing his feelings for her now that she's about to get married. This book sounds so cute. I feel like it's like exactly like my type of rom-com that I would absolutely love. I want to read this one so badly, but I don't like to skip books and series. Like, I like to read them in order. This one's the one I want to read the most, but I want to read the first one first, obviously. So I'm gonna try to read A Not So Meet Cute this month, hopefully, so I can finally get to the third book because I'm really excited for that one. So that one is kind of high up on my TBR, but like I said, she also has that hockey romance series, and that one sounds cute too. I can't remember what it's called, but I know like one of them is like the brother's teammate trope, and then I think another one is like the pregnancy trope. Those might be in the same book, I don't know, but I've heard good things about that series too. So I've been wanting to read books by her because I haven't had a chance to really get into her books, but I feel like so many people love them, so hopefully I'll finally get to one. The next book that I've been wanting to read is First Down by Grace Riley. This is a college sports romance book. He's a football player, and then I think she tutors him and they start fake dating. Sounds kind of similar to The Deal, so I don't know, I feel like I'll like this one. I like the concept of it. It seems like it's gonna be a cute book, and I feel like I've been seeing people talk about it, and it seems like people enjoy it for the most part. This is another one that I've almost started a few times. I just haven't got into it yet, but lately I've just been in the mood to read sports romance. I mean, I always am. I love sports romance. I'm pretty much always reading it. I don't know, when I go like a while without reading sports romance, I feel this need to like get back into it. So like in January I didn't read too much sports romance, and in February I read so many sports romance books, so I've just been into sports romance again. Not again, I never really got out of sports romance, but I've just been wanting to read it like a lot lately. I don't know, I just really love like the sports romance subgenre. Like, I never get tired of it. I love it. I could read it all the time. It's one of my favorites. I definitely will always be wanting to read sports romance, and this one is one that I recently got and have been wanting to pick up. And so the next book on my TBR is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. Again, I've brought this book up so many times. It's been in TBRs before. I keep saying I'm gonna read it and I just haven't got into it yet, but the next book in this series comes out in April, I'm pretty sure, so I would love to read this one before the next book comes out. Like, this one is definitely high up on my TBR. This book has an arranged marriage. I believe he's like being blackmailed or something, and so he ends up getting into this arranged marriage with this woman. Obviously there's no love between them, but eventually they fall for each other. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I definitely would love to try to get to it soon. I've been saying I'm gonna read it and I just haven't yet, but hopefully this will be the month that I finally get to this book, because I've owned it since it came out. Like, I literally bought it right after it was released and I just haven't read it. I don't know why, but I'm going to very soon. I will, especially because the second book, I keep seeing the second one being hyped up. Like, Anna Huang's already starting to post about it and talk about it, and everyone seems excited for it, and I don't know who the characters are. Like, you meet them in this book, I'm pretty sure, so I would love to finally read this one and be excited for the second book before it comes out. So those are all the books that I want to read in the month of March. I feel pretty good about it. Like, I don't feel like it was that unrealistic. Like, these are books that I'm definitely wanting to read soon, and I feel like there's a good chance that I'll pick them up, hopefully. But yeah, that's it for this video. Definitely let me know any of your thoughts on these books if you have read them, or if you're planning to, or let me know what you're planning to read in the month of March. And if you liked this and you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.